Buddy Wren here with StitchandTravel.com.
I'm Scott.
Today it's going to be a little bit of a political rant. We don't get political usually, but we've had some news of something that is possibly going to happen over the next few months about Oklahoma State Parks.
We're here at Lake Texoma, and we're at Lake Texoma State Park at Oklahoma State Park. And there's a news report that says that Oklahoma's under some serious budget crunches. They keep being obsessed with cutting taxes, and then of course you can't, and they have to have a balanced budget, so they have to cut spending. And now they're talking about closing a whole bunch of Oklahoma State parks because they don't have the money to pay for them.
There's about 16 of them, and this is one of them, Lake Texoma State Park. And you know, we love the state parks, and in Texas, you know, there's a few parks. It's like, oh, this is run down. It's starting to get run down. It's nothing like what we've seen here.
They've been having a lot of deferred maintenance because the legislature hasn't appropriated enough funds to maintain and take care of the parks. The parks get about half of their income from in Texas from park fees, and about half of it comes from things like selling hunting and fishing licenses. They get the income from that, and they get supposed to be getting taxes from the sports equipment tax in Texas. That's what it was passed for. In the past, they haven't got that because the legislature's appropriated those funds for other uses. Last session, they said that they're going to stop doing that and use the taxes for what they were meant for. This session, there's a budget crunch, so we're holding our breath to see if they hold to their promise or not.
Yeah.
Oklahoma, I don't have the information on how they support theirs primarily, but I know that the news report says they're getting ready to close a whole bunch of them because they don't have enough money to take care of their parks anymore.
So one of the things that, as you all know, those of you who've been watching us and reading our Facebook, you know that we decided to go 2 months early into the park hosting. You know, jump into it. Let's go full time. Let's do this, because the Texas State Parks needs their volunteers, because there's hiring freeze and budget cuts. So we're doing what we can. We also bought for the RV. We bought a license plate that money goes to the Parks and Wildlife Department. There's little things you can do. You don't have to be a park host. You can donate. You can go in and do trail cleanups. I mean, there's so much you can do.
Work.
But one of the most important things you need to do is write to those legislatures for Texas and your state. I don't care if you're in Texas, Oklahoma, Virginia, I don't care. Write. If the parks are important to you, write to them and tell them this is important. Stop making these stupid decisions to destroy the resources that we have set aside for your people of your state.
Now, Lake Texoma is an Army Corps of Engineers site. It's got little small hole-in-the-wall Army Corps sites all around, an Oklahoma State Park, a Texas State Park, and several private resorts. The lake itself is still going to be here, but they're talking about closing the park, and they've done a lot of deferred maintenance around. If you drive around this park, it's not something that impresses you. It's old and run down. It's not been taken care of as well as it could be, and you know, my guess is because they just haven't had the money to do it.
They haven't had the money, and they haven't had the people.
And the thing is, yes, this is an Army Corps of Engineers site, but the people running the federal government are in a budget-cutting mood too. And I mean, they're already trying to gut the EPA. That helps protect the environment, keep clean water and clean air. They want to cut it down, and some people want to shut it down.
And they want to get rid of some of the national park stuff.
They're cutting all across everything except military spending. They're wanting to cut, and they've already been underfunded for a long time. And if you value the outdoors, if you value the environment, if you value your parks, you've got to tell people that these matter to you, or they're going to go away.
That's right. So, our message to you today is if you love the outdoors, you love your state parks, you love your national parks, people, do something about it. Write to your legislature, your houses, your senators. Stand up for it. Tell them we want to keep this. We want this for our family and our children.
We get to enjoy the parks because of what our ancestors did. We went to Yosemite a little over a year ago, and it was amazing. It was a life-changing event for me. It opened my eyes to a lot of things and changed how I look at the world. And I only got to do that because 100 years ago, 75 years ago, people fought tooth and nail to protect that against people who wanted to exploit it and plunder the beauty of the world to make some rich people richer. And somebody said, no, this needs to be protected for everybody.
Now keep in mind, there's places like the National Forestry. Those places are created to be able to do the drilling and things like that. They're and
It's a
the
different
cutting.
mission.
It's made for that sort of thing. Not the parks, not the state parks, and not the national parks.
So
There's a difference. So people, educate yourself, and then step out there and stand up for what you believe in.
So it's time to stand up and fight for your children and your grandchildren's right to enjoy the things that you can go out and enjoy today. Because if you don't, they're not going to have it.
So remember, if you want to make a difference, get out.
Live life outside your box
You know we are, guys.
and write your legislature. A Facebook petition does nothing. You've got to contact these people and tell them what matters to you.
Yeah. So get those letters out there.